Thank you, Stefano. And the last project we would like to present is going to be probably a brief and short presentation because we unfortunately had a last-minute cancellation of the speaker who was going to present the European Digital Skills Certificate Feasibility Study. But my colleague Norman has just volunteered to say a few words or sentences about this initiative. So thank you very much, Norman, for jumping in. And the floor is yours.
Thank you, Peter. This was really very short notice. We wish all the best to Angelo to feel better very soon. I'm very sorry that he couldn't stay and give this presentation and give you also more details that I unfortunately won't be able to give you. But just as an overview, what we had intended for this initiative is that the European Digital Skills Certificate feasibility study is a process that has started in December last year in earnest with the start of the consultations. And it's part of the Digital Education Action Plan to come up with an idea how can we equip citizens, and particularly citizens, not necessarily IT professionals or other types of usual certification holders, but citizens in the use of digital skills and certify that they have basic digital skills. In that, the European Commission has launched the study, and we are very pleased that All Digital and our consortium partners in Entity Data and Empirica have been selected to conduct this study. And we've been very busy on this because the study is on a very, very tight deadline, and there have been a lot of activity on this. There have been rounds and rounds of consultations online with surveys and interviews that have been ongoing, and we are now at the point where we are about to start the development and then the implementation of pilots for this. These are at the moment still very relatively open-ended. We don't know yet what is going to be implemented in the end. The two options that we have basically is going in the concrete certification framework, which has its advantages, which has its disadvantages. The other hand is creating a framework for the existing certifications and new certifications that are coming up, and that's something we're still exploring. But we are now coming into the hot phase of the feasibility study, but it's important to note for you that this is at the moment just a feasibility study, so there's not anything planned at the moment to be concretely implemented. We are just trying to figure out what is best to implement and what can be implemented in the end. That's where we are. You will hear a lot more about this in the coming days and weeks. In your member states that are involved in also some processes that the Commission is running, also feeding into the study, aside what the consortium team is doing. There will be a big stakeholder workshop tomorrow that is gathering feedback and input for this next phase, and we are very much looking forward to that. And I hope to be continuing to count on your contributions to this and the support in then the next steps of this. And that's it for me. And if you have any immediate questions, I'm happy to answer those I can. And otherwise, thank you for your attention.
Just want to add one thing. Since some of you who might be interested in attending the workshop tomorrow will be here at the Digital Assembly. So, in fact, those who won't be able to attend tomorrow, there is a possibility to contribute in the next 2 weeks by written way. So it's not going to be the interaction that is going to take place tomorrow in the workshop, but there is still the possibility, and this is not just for the people who will be here at the Digital Assembly, but also because other people said that they wanted to contribute, but they could not be physically engaged tomorrow. So this phase of the workshop is tomorrow, but then I think there are 10 days or something like that time for contributing, answering to the question, the issues that will be raised tomorrow during the workshop. Yes, this should be said on the community of practice. The other one, because you know there are two communities of practice. One is for the certification process and the other one is for the DigComCop. So yes, this will be done tomorrow, I think.
Hi, thank you. I'm relatively new to this certificate, so I was wondering what is the case for it? Like, why would we need a European digital skills certificate. Could you briefly sketch the use of it?
Yeah, I can try to do that. Well, a certification of your learning outcomes is something that happens in all fields of learning. It happens when you do a language course, for instance. You also get a certificate at the end that it says you have this level of proficiency in it. And that's somewhat the idea that's also happening with the digital skill certificate. It is very much also linking into the ECDL, the International Computer Driver's License, that covers some aspects of this, but the certification that is now being in the works and is being discussed and how far that can be implemented has a wider aspect, links much closer to the DigCom framework that was just presented, and wants to give a wider aspect of citizens concretely to say, I have basic digital skills and I have this certification that proves it. And that's something that is valuable both for themselves in a self-affirmation way, but it's also then helpful in for the labor market and their aspirations there, that they can certify that they have these competences, which is of course both advantages for the job seeker side, but also for the employer side, who then can rely on the employees that they are trying to hire having these competences. And that's the idea. Why on a European level? Because we are, of course, wanting to try to harmonize this in some degree, and also say that people can easily assess if a certification that is acquired in the one country then is also easily understood and accepted in another country. And that's another aspect that is behind this. I would also like to take the opportunity again to thank you for the astounding response that we received for this study and the interest in the stakeholders. There was over 1,000 stakeholders that applied and registered their interest, and that we have consulted on this in one way or another through several surveys. So thank you for that. That's really much appreciated, and also shows how important this idea is.